Things next to me, yeah.
What you got there?
One I threw away.
Folks, they want it tomorrow, but they're
No.
not.
I'm working on it.
Last time I have to go through. I'll have to walk through the park and check all that out.
I don't know if Ron's coming over here or not. Nobody was there.
I just stopped there and he's sitting on the couch. He said, I'm waiting to see if anybody's showing up.
Okay.
And if they're not there, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, if nobody shows up, then
I didn't hear anybody say anything.
Excuse me, sir, I need to do that. Yes, that's what I told him, I texted him and I said, Star's coming over with us.
and so
But you know Ron.
He's relaxed on the couch with TV on his phone.
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
yep.
And I guess I'm supposed to collect some checks too.
Oh.
Check that we're supposed to
Yes.
get.
Ours and
Already.
Ron's and.
Ron got his already.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, who's, you think? Just
Yeah, I think just ours.
And then like normal.
Okay.
Unless Tim wants me to get his and you want me to get your check, give it to you? Sure.
Your hands are much better.
Give mine to the chief so he can give it to me.
Okay.
Makes him feel important, I guess.
Just accidentally put it in his
Oh,
PO
boy.
And so that's insurance stuff that we just need to kind of look at what we have, if we have it, and what we don't have.
Yeah, you're gonna know that better than I am on the list.
And the ambulance part, I think, is possibly in here, too, that we gotta just double check on that.
Oh, I sent them that too. Yeah, that, you're looking at.
Oh, you have it, but go ahead and take the
I
paper.
emailed that to you earlier. That's that retired thing.
There was nothing attached.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, just my
This is the
comment
first
to her
one.
saying, yeah, just my comments to her saying that I'm
Yes.
not gonna have it
Yes,
done on
you're
the
gonna
12th.
be late, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just take that, look at that. If you wanna have any questions, just give me a call.
And we do, since we had the, bronze CEO at our open house, we can make an adjustment to our insurance.
I don't know if we do, because I remember hearing that they had to be
Yeah.
insured separately, so I think
Yeah.
they already might be.
Did
I'm hoping
I'm
so.
hoping that they are.
they?
The box and the
Mary,
chair.
you need to have the bank sign off on
Did
it.
it do any
Where are you
good?
going there next?
I go there every day.
What are
Yes,
those?
we believe so.
I'm limited to 3 times.
I watch.
Your what?
I'm limited to 3 times.
You wanna go to the bank 3 times a
And they
day?
lock the door on me.
And then Ron put Josh on it, so I got a little bank account. And then we used it for.
We came through town the
Okay,
other
good.
day and it's
Yeah.
like 7 o'clock at night, there's a
Seems
car
like
parked
it's
outside the bank.
better.
And I said, well, maybe they got an ATM like inside here that somebody's using. But it was like, maybe it was somebody cleaning, but it was just so weird.
Yeah, they still have it. Isn't that the one that was stolen? They ripped out? Yeah, it was like a year or so ago, they went into the foyer and ripped it out.
Oh,
They
I
had the
remember
video
that.
of like three
Yeah.
kids, 3 people walking out with the
Yeah.
And they mail it?
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think they
Yeah,
fill it out and then they
Bradbury,
mail
our
it. It would
son,
be nice
Dylan,
if they
had
would get
just
an
been in
inspection.
there.
They might have.
And then he went over to the golf course, and he's on his way back, he calls me, and he says, "Ops there." And when I went into the bank, his
Yeah, I didn't
son
read any of
was
it.
just in here
I could
before
just
that guy
click
came
and
in.
dig up to it.
It's already done.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll start the meeting, guys. Join us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, hey, thank you all for coming. I just need a motion to accept the consent agenda. Can you get moved?
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so let's go into reports. Anybody have anything they want to add? No? Okay, all right. Let's go into reports. Chief, what you got?
Last month was a busy month. We had 49 runs last month. 35 fire and the rest were, or 35 ambulance and the rest were fire related. And so I guess one of the big things I want to stress is that, since this is being live streamed, right now it's just waiting for a spark. And we're going to go up like a tinderbox right now. And so everybody out there in Facebook land, before you light a fire, please go to the Michigan Burn Permit Maps and Google it. And if it's open, you can burn. If it's not, don't do it. The county's lighting up. I mean, there was a big one yesterday. There was multiple fires today. And so, So just be real careful with that part of it. Otherwise, things are going good. 4th of July went well. And, yeah, everything was good. The open house was good. Had a lot of little kids come over and sprayed the hose at our little firehouse, and they just dig that stuff. And so, but otherwise, I don't think I have anything. We just had the cot work done. We talked about that, and it sounds like that may be fixed. So yeah. Unless you have any questions.
Everything, the trucks look great for the parade. I thought it was great. It looked really nice. It's nice having that fleet that we have. You guys are maintaining. It's nice.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. You have that new watercraft, right?
Yes.
Have you gone out on it? What's it like?
We haven't used it yet. We have been doing joint trainings with irons. We were there last night with them on water relay, pumping, running from one truck to another truck, long distance hoses. And the 25th, we are going to do a joint water rescue training, probably down at the High Bridge, where we'll get it in the water and throw somebody in and act like a dummy, and we'll go pick them up.
Who's that gonna be with?
Irons.
Sabo
Yep, Sabo Elk Eden.
So,
And so we're trying to do, we set a plan up, we got together with their chief a few months back, and we set a scheduled date for, they train on Monday nights, we train on Tuesday nights. And so one Monday night we'll go to their department and train with them, and on another Tuesday they'll come over here and they'll train with us. We just had a joint jaws extrication training at the station. That went really well. And so we've got propane. If we can get enough people, we will have propane emergency training here on the 29th. And so that's where they take 500-pound or 500-gallon propane tanks and light them on fire, and you get this great big fireball as tall as the trees, and it's just bellowing, and then you go put it out. So it's pretty cool. And so, so that's the.
and you have that electric shut-off, or the shut-off for electric vehicles, right?
Yep.
That's the other.
Yep, we got a new tool for the EV vehicles that you plug into their charging port, and it automatically puts them into a charging mode, so that if you're in there working on doing an extrication or something like that, that they can't just all of a sudden go and want to do what they want to do. It puts them into a default. Okay. And so, but yeah, otherwise things are good. No complaints, and so we're just motored on. And so, yeah, that's what we've been up to.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Everything good. Were you guys involved with that big one yesterday?
No,
You guys didn't
no,
go that way?
it's too far out of our area. For as dry as it is, it's too far for us to go.
Okay.
You leave too much stuff open.
It's coming.
All right. All right, assessors report. July board of review is on the 18th at 6 o'clock. Answering a few phone calls here and there, working on building permits. So everything's going okay with that. Custodian, Tim, you got anything?
Not a lot, just over the 4th. Yeah, it went good. I went Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for trash in the morning, and I think, what was the 4th Tuesday I went, you will see me driving around, that was like 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And when I got back in the morning, those 2 or 3 trash that I did were overflowing and on the ground already. So next year, I want to come up with more. Not that it's gonna help, there's still, I was down on the beach for probably an hour picking up clothes and trash.
The problem is, when the holidays come around, the people that come from downstate that live around there, they take their own trash and they put
Oh yeah, I can tell when they do that, because it's bagged. And nobody bags their trash at the beach, so.
Well, we happened to find somebody's name on a box, so I gave that
Oh.
to Officer Traeger. So.
I'm not gonna dig in people's trash to find their names, but if it's simple on an Amazon box,
Yeah.
then I'll rip it off.
Yep.
But otherwise, yeah, I do have a, hopefully, I tried the same vacation last year and I didn't go because of family issues, but, August, the week of the 7th,
I have you covered.
gone, so either you or I can,
I'll cover you.
hopefully with no rain, it's just mainly trash, so it doesn't get overflowing, so, but thanks.
Just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Good, thanks.
You said the week of what?
The week of the 7th, August 7th. Oh, and Eddie just got his last trailer out of there. I don't
That's
know
good.
why it
Did it
took
go to the recycling center or his? Yeah. Okay, so that's an issue
I
that,
think everything is still sitting in his front yard.
and I think I've told all of you this, but I went and told him, I kind of gave him a deadline, so we're gonna start talking about this. I mean, he's creating a junkyard in our township but we're facilitating that. So I told him, I said, buddy, it has to be cleaned up by the end of summer, or you may not be able to do black steel for us anymore.
And he did really, really well getting 95% of it out of there like that day.
Well, the thing is, he can be cleaning up, but the trailers aren't moving, they're staying.
I know.
He's taking the stuff from the, and leaving it in there,
Yeah,
and then just moving them around the yard. It's not like leaving there.
I noticed them still sitting almost out.
And then we're gonna have to figure out something with Ezra too.
Yeah, well, Bob and Ben, they're on letter 2 with both of them, so the next one will be an attorney letter, so. All right, I'll wait for Parks and Rec. I have something to talk about with the cemeteries real quick, but, okay, so, management council, thank you. On my list. All right, so, July's a little bit slower. 4th of July, they had a good turnout. There was a cancellation, one little cancellation. Little Mary's Hospitality Fundraiser is back this year. The fire department has a training tentatively scheduled for the 29th, if we get enough people for that. She has a question here. There is a gentleman that is asking to have the entire weekend, so it'd be a rent for the entire weekend, for a collectibles market. Now, I don't see that being an issue. We don't have a collectibles business that they've been competing with. It sounds like it's a collectibles market. Does he need any special permits or license to do so? I don't know. I can call the county on that. I don't think, we've had those here, stuff like that before. I mean,
Didn't Cheryl used to do something like that?
I thought so.
Like they used to do,
Antiques or collectibles
Yeah,
or
they
something
were
like a swap meet
He
type
wants
thing.
to rent the building, he doesn't want it for free.
No, he doesn't want it for free. He wants to rent it, so I
on the
don't
whole
think,
weekend.
yeah.
Okay.
But I just clarified that when we had that, what is that big?
Shipshawana, is that what we're having?
Yeah, well, they've had it a few halls. Remember, they bring in all the tools in, and that upset a few of our businesses, and we said we weren't gonna do that stuff. But it sounds like this is just collectibles. So I'll make a call to the county tomorrow, make sure there's no other permits or anything he would need, just rent it, and as long as they're not selling alcohol or firearms, I don't think it would be an
It's
issue.
collectibles, yeah.
I'll find out what
As long as it's not-
collectibles
yeah,
means, yeah.
If it's not knives and
Yeah, well, when you
guns.
figure out, just let her know and then she can get ahold of him.
Hardware.
Yeah, okay, cool. I will ask. All right, so that's about all, was that it? The Mud Lake Drain meeting is July 24th at 7 p.m.
And that's here.
Yeah, it probably will.
What is it, July?
24th. Nobody's gonna show up for that.
That's the
It's just-
public
It's just,
hearing.
they gotta have a public hearing if anybody wants to show up. I don't think anybody's gonna show up for that one. Most people probably don't even know where it is. All right, so, Answer Council, Parks and Rec, Jordan, got anything?
No, I think everything went well over the 4th. I heard a lot of compliments about the new equipment at the park and also the docks. So that's good. Jason brought it up before we got here, and I think it's probably a good idea to angle the parking spots at the lake so that the vehicles aren't so far out in the road.
Yeah, Rich said this coming week we'll get together and we'll get that done.
The bigger trucks, the newer vehicles are hanging out to the road too far, so if we set straight or angle they'll be further into the spots. hopefully.
Right.
So what do you do, change the wood?
Just
block thing?
instead
Picket
of
line.
pulling in, we'll just angle it, all in an angle. That way, when they pull out, they can only go one way
Right,
versus people try to go this way, that, it just makes it a lot simpler.
right. The docks are beautiful, everybody loves them. Any news on the next one over here,
Hopefully next week,
next week?
but that's all I have.
All right. Jason, you got anything for planning?
I wasn't there, but, Mary Beth, she, sent me an email. So, they're focusing mainly on the master plan, beginning some of the reading, look out the formatting ideas of the plans. Calva just got theirs completed, so they're kinda just running over to see what's the best way to go about doing it. And then I don't know what this other thing with the committee workshop, I don't know what that is about, so.
We talked
Wasn't
about,
there.
instead of having a meeting, that we would have a committee meeting, but then all 5 wanted to be there, which is great. Well, you weren't there, but we said you wanted to be there. But, you know, it was like, as we talked about when we did the bylaws, Jill and I kind of taken
Right,
it on, and then
right.
people went over it. But everybody said, no, I want to be a part of this. So it will be just focusing on the master plan. It's supposed to be, I think, 8 AM next week, next Tuesday, right? And 8 AM. And then we'll just get together, the 5 of us, and just focus on master plan. And there was some question as far as the committees. I think you put additional funds in to cover us doing the master plan. So we wanted to make sure that that was okay to do.
I have a question on
Okay.
this. So 8 AM next Tuesday, so are we gonna have our regular meeting that morning also?
No, we're not doing a
No.
regular meeting.
And we're not gonna do a meeting that night?
We're
No,
not
'cause
doing a
we don't
regular
meet in
meeting
July.
Yeah.
We
there's
don't meet in
one
July.
scheduled.
Oh,
So we
okay.
wouldn't have had a meeting in July, and we just
Oh,
decided
gotcha.
we're kind of moving with this, so we've got lots of things to read, and we know people don't read them until we're actually together.
Right.
And, you know, we have some really nice opportunities because Calva paid for Northwest up in Traverse to do their plans, so all the stats for Manistee County are already done for us. So we don't have to, Bob doesn't have to go digging for those. They're right there, and then we also have, because I'm on the county planning, I did share the, because it is public, I mean, I didn't give it because, you know, but, the county planning has already reviewed it and said, these are the things that are good about it, and these are the things you need to change. So, we're able to kind of get that information so that all of us know how to do a master plan and what has to be looked at for the county. So,
Gary, is that gonna be noticed? Your meeting, your work session?
because it's a committee, yeah, it was a plan to do that. I think Bob takes care of the notices.
When is it next?
Next Tuesday,
Yeah.
8
So
AM.
there
8
needs to be
AM.
notice.
Yeah.
So I need to call Ben, because he needs to post that Friday, because it's 18 hours for those guys. So
Yeah.
Ben,
yeah, but I thought Bob was taking care of that.
I'll
So
see if it's
he
posted
does
on
it,
there.
yeah.
He did.
So that's
Okay.
It's already posted.
So
Yeah.
then, I had another question. There was a question, during the meeting about you and Jill doing the bylaws, and that
Mhm.
there should have been some compensation, or somebody had discussed having compensation.
Oh,
for
we
you
were
guys to do
compensated
that.
for that, yeah.
Oh, okay, cause I was
Yeah.
like, should I be, you know, I hadn't heard.
No, and that was last year. That was before
Oh,
you
okay. All right.
were the clerk.
All right.
And it was just, we just needed to make sure that that was part of, you know, and there are committee meetings that are covered
Okay.
under the planning,
Right. All
so,
right, thanks.
yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you're.
yeah, but we don't
owed
wanna,
something, that was
you know, we
great.
don't wanna spring extra meetings that are not allowed, but we do wanna get this done. You know, get the master plan, and, I mean, it's really exciting. I mean, this is an opportunity to really highlight Wellston, and really, and do it in a way that people are gonna wanna read. You know, that they're gonna sit down and they're gonna see, I mean, today I went out, I had these coat racks that are in here when material girls do, but the person who stores them is moving to Alpena. So, Paul volunteered, yeah, good. We went out to pick them up, and it was only 5 miles from our house. $450,000 beautiful house on Little Lake. I've never been out there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And,
Yes.
you know, so, went and got those, and so that they're, you know, gonna have a new home for storage.
Yeah, I'm excited to
But
see, because I
it's-
heard you all talking about the fact that you were gonna streamline it, and it's very, quite wordy, you know, so, I kept hearing strike this, strike that, I was like, yay.
Yeah, it's gonna be
yeah.
it's gonna be, cause
It's a
a
good
lot of them,
group, it's a really good group you have.
so many of the master plans now, they tell the story, and they don't put you to sleep, is what our goal is. And we really wanna tell the story, and we wanna find out too, because the other thing is, we want people, when we're getting to the public input, what do you want? Do you want a bunch of rentals? Do you want a community? Do you want sidewalks? Do you want a water tower? I mean, those are kinds of things, and I'm hoping like for the water tower or the sidewalks or any of that, no, because we're a little community, we're just, you know, that kind of thing, we're not really looking at that. We're not looking to necessarily attract a big subdivision, because that's what you would need for a subdivision. We're interested in housing, getting housing in here, but we want quality housing. That's kind of putting my bias in, and I shouldn't be doing that, because that's gonna be the people that come, but it's gotta be the people from the community come in and say, this is what we want it to look like. This is what we vision Wellston to be. If it's gonna be a tourist, then letting the tourists know that when they come, we don't want their trash. You know, we want them to come, we want them to enjoy the fireworks, but if they put trash cans on both sides, and what, Crystal Lake is only a block long, a little bigger than a block, they should be able to walk to the trash can and put it in. But one person was telling me, she was sitting next to a couple that's, because the trash can wasn't right there, they left their garbage. You know, but she also said she was uncomfortable in this day and age to tell them to pick it up. So, you know, but that's kind of what, and hopefully all of you will be there when we start getting the public input. We are using Mary Riley from Cooperative Extension, so she's really nice to work with. And so,
Good.
yeah.
Sounds like a good start and good, that's kind of what, I mean, it was reduced 6-7 years ago from what it was, and
That
then,
was
you know.
reduced.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that was reduced from
Yeah.
the original one about 15 years ago, yeah. It just wasn't enough, it sounds like you guys are kind of more where we would want, yep, so.
Yeah, and when, just another quick, the county has the same, because of the person that was kind of the key person writing those, the county plan looks almost identical to Wellston. They are also doing theirs, so we will have the advantage of when the county says this is a no-go with this, I'll be able to say, hey, guess what, we can cut up this part.
Mary,
Or
what
this is required, because there's certain things that are required too.
What was the community you guys mentioned that you liked their template? Do you remember? I think I
He
remember.
just gave me a copy
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh, what was it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
There's that part, I just looked at that paper.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
remember, will you let me know, cause I
Yeah.
was gonna look at that.
Well,
Thanks.
what's really funny is, I went to the governor's breakfast over in Wexford County, 2 months ago, and she mentioned that community. And so it was kind of like when you have a really good
That's nice.
master plan,
Right.
even the governor sees it.
People talk,
So,
right?
Yeah.
That's great.
So, but that's kind of what, you know, excited. I think Star's excited, Jason's excited.
What's needed and simplified has been, we've been wanting for a while, so I'm glad you can tackle that. Yeah, sounds like it. You know, it was written by a very intelligent person that was very detailed, that was probably more than what we needed in this area.
It
Well-
shows,
Yes, so,
it shows.
Well, and that was his job.
yes.
That was, he had a really good understanding in that at the time, that was how all of them were written.
Yep.
You know, so, we were thrown a little, just to note, because, Joanne and I have talked about it, because we were videoed. And we, I did talk to Joanne afterwards, we know that that's perfectly fine, we know that some people wanna do that, they'd rather see us online. But I felt as a board to board, it would have been nice to have the heads up. and that we were kind of felt blindsided. Jason was sick, so he wasn't able to give us that heads up. So just a better way of communication, kind of having, I think Bob is the best way to communicate. I know that for the schools, having something go through the superintendent is much more effective than a board member.
Well, like I discussed with you, I had told, as the board appointed rep, I let him know. And I was unaware he was not gonna be here.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's on day of.
That was just, one of those things that happened. I mean,
Yeah. So we did just, but
steps
we did
were
have that.
taken- Steps were taken by myself to pass that information on.
But we did have that, in that, I don't know, one of our members is still struggling with that, so hopefully we'll keep him.
Okay.
But that
I
was
can
kind
go
of a
talk to
blind
him.
spot decided.
I'll try to stop by and talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, zoning, a lot of building permits going on right now. I think there were 4 new structures and about 5 new accessory buildings. We have a possibility of a new cell tower, because there's a cell tower that has got a demolition permit. So that will be being worked on, because where the new cell tower is, it's too close to the old one, but the old one's coming down, so I think Bob's and Ben are gonna work that all out with the state so we can get that new cell tower, so we have better cell phone coverage. All right, public comment, Bill, what you got, sir?
Well, everybody, thank you for everything you did on the board. Was there any damage you seen to the bars? I didn't see any.
Typical,
Just
nothing major.
anything needs to be repaired?
Nope.
Okay, fine. During the process of us using electricity, we had a lot of electrical failures on 2 of the circuits feeding the pavilion.
Okay.
It didn't blow the ground fault, it blew the breaker. So with permission of the board, Ken Moss has donated his time to help me figure out why I do repairs, and also look into doing a complete upgrade to the power at the park. Now, I have a lot of friends, we have a lot of, between me and Ken, we have a lot of brand new materials. He can pull all the permits. If it's the largest sum of money, we're hoping we can use as much as our materials we already have and donations to bring it all up to date. I didn't want to take it on unless I had permission.
Have them take a look at it and let us know what the cost might be,
Okay.
if it's an old system, it's been there, it was installed way before
There's 2
me,
different,
so
there's
Yeah.
2 different.
it needs to be done.
boxes.
So, yeah, that'd be great.
Some
if you guys would tackle that.
some of the ground faults inside the pavilion are 20 amps, but the breaker that feeds them is only a 15 amp, so it naturally will blow at first.
Yeah.
But we plugged in the one, bounce house,
Mm-hmm.
it would not hold just one of them, but we moved it to the circuit right next to it, it worked fine, it's just
Because of the wrong breaker.
probably the wrong breaker, or it's just weak.
Yep.
Other than that, everything was great.
Good, fireworks are great, I had nothing but compliments on those, and, yeah, they were great.
But Dwayne told me
Good
to
job.
ask if there's any big damage, he wanted to help fix it, so.
There was no damage, but we typically get damage and we fix it, it's no
Yeah.
matter. I mean,
I figured,
it's plywood.
he did ask, he said, he really built this 15 years ago? He said, I can't get nothing built half that good now.
Kevin, I, and Jason, and you, and Scott, yeah, we all, yep,
Last one.
it's lasted, so,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, guys, thank you, Bill, thank you, great job. Hmm?
Says buy time for some new barrels. but-
Yeah, nobody shot any out this year, I don't think.
Yeah.
Drilled holes in them or whatever. All right,
Good job keeping the geese away this year too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you walked around the park?
They're still there, but they're not as many.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Just one
The,
little family.
the
running.
5 or 6
family
that are there, they
yeah.
can make just as much of a mess as 30 of them.
All right, so we have no unfinished business. Let's move on to new business. Okay, we just need to approve, and somebody has to tell me the amount, for the biennial audit.
4,000,
We do this every 2 years, so we just have to approve the amount for our audit.
4,000.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the annual audit with Lake Michigan CPA Services PLC in Ludington in the amount of 4,000.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. 5-0. Okay, any questions on this Michigan Bow Hunters license, just do a raffle? They've been doing it for years. The state contacted them, said they would rather have it be official. through us, so this would be, a resolution that we, would need a motion on to allow them to do a once-a-year raffle. They sell about 1,300 tickets. Here's an example of the tickets. The copy that I sent you had Brethren written on it, because that's where the P.O. box is, but he lives here on Michigan Avenue. That is where the organization is out of, so it needs to be us, not Brethren, so, good. Anybody have any questions on that?
No.
Okay,
It's in the packet.
yeah, so. I just need a motion if we're good at giving them that.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, can we do a roll call on that?
We can.
That's just a
Oh, you
roll
want
call
a
to
roll?
make it official, yeah.
Mobley,
Yep,
Ty.
Yep.
Spiro,
Yep.
Brayley. Montgomery, yep. Motion carried.
all right. We just needed a motion to finish up.
I'll make.
It's summer, it's a nice night, let's get going. All right, so we'll give that to Merrill, seconded by Jordan. Merrill and Jordan, yep.
I don't know, it came with gloves.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks y'all for coming, appreciate it.
7:28.
The night of the duplex. Or shooting. Who's there?
Thank you, ma'am.